Yep,
Hey, we're on Facebook.
there we
So
are. Good evening, ladies and
hang on,
gentlemen.
hang
And
on, hang on. Wait a minute. It's live now. Good go.
okay, good evening to all the probably 3 people that are currently watching. Welcome this evening to the Man Cave. Me, Simon, will be joined this evening by Mr. Clive Jackson, best known for being part of Doctor and the Medics.
And a truly nice guy.
Yes, and a man who seems to favour Paul Scratchings, apparently.
Well, yeah, but we'll come on to that in a minute. It's not fair to give his vices away and his secrets away too early. Anyway, how you been doing, mate?
Yeah, good. It's been a busy week at work, hard week at work, and yeah, so I haven't really got much done at home this week. Not a lot of DIY, but all right, earning again, which is nice.
Got to be hard being back though.
Oh, it's hard and it's weird because obviously like all the production staff are back, but none of the office staff are. So we're in there, but there's nobody else around. So it's still a bit up in the air really, and we can only do certain bits because other bits aren't available. We can't do certain things because of social distancing and everything else. So yeah, it's a bit weird, but nice to be back and nice to be cracking on again and waking up in the morning aching and getting home at 2 o'clock in the morning to eat chocolate cake. It's always nice. What about you? A lot of stuff going on?
Yeah, I took the day off, or sort of. I took the day off, but didn't and taken up the whole day off because I had to come backwards and forwards. But I got 4 fence panels in.
Oh,
yeah. You know, you've got to do something when you've got nothing to do. Although I have got lots to do, and I should have really been here because there was lots to do here. But it is what it is.
Yeah, that's it. Sometimes you got to take some time for yourself. Just do what you got to do. Have a bit of a chill out, or not, and build a fence.
But then it's a side effect sometimes of where we are with lockdown, isn't it? I mean, sometimes you need to get away from your other half, and I don't mean that in the wrong way, but you know, when you're living together and as me and your mum are, which is working together as well, there's no time to be apart. Sometimes you just need that little bit of space, don't you? You know, you just need to.
Yeah, I think everyone does. Everyone needs their own little bit of time just to sort of chill out and everything else. And I think it is difficult for people at the moment who can't get out and just get a bit of fresh air, even because they're worried about going out anywhere. And yeah, I think it is a bit difficult. But then the people who are staying in, at least they're listening. Not like the people that are rocking up in caravans and everything else already, preparing for next week.
I did have to laugh. I saw a post by Mark Bell. I mean, we always do a Facebook. For those that don't know, we always do a little bit of a Facebook thing. And I think the funniest thing I saw was Mark Bell put a post on about the people that aren't staying in. It's the new government legislation.
Oh, yes. Yes, yeah? I've seen it. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. I can't remember what the anachronism for it was. Oh, yes, I do. Twat. Yes, ones that don't stay in and don't behave. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think obviously people are expecting big things on Sunday, and I don't think it's going to be as big as people think. I don't think these restrictions are going to be relaxed massively. I think it's going to make a big difference, but then whether it causes more problems or not remains to be seen. But you've got to see what happens, I suppose.
It will be. I mean, I've got people asking me already, oh, what's going to be happening on Sunday? I don't know Boris that well. I might get him on the show one day, you never know. But at the moment,
oh, amazing. Maybe when he's not, quite so busy.
I don't know. I'm sure he could spend us an hour one night.
Well, give it a go.
He might need the man chat. It's all about men's mental health. I mean, surely that guy must be struggling with mental health at the minute. I wouldn't want his job.
Oh no, God no. But then his old man lives nearby, so might be worth tapping him up.
Well, that's right. Yeah, he's only around the corner, isn't he?
Yeah.
Nice thing about living in Somerset where we are. What we got coming on? Right, so been an interesting day in the respect of ever since everyone sort of like knew that we were going live with a certain Mr. Jackson, I've ended up joining one of their fan club merchandise, and that's Julie, I think it was. Yeah, Julie Wallington. So hi, Julie. I see you're up here watching. We've had who else? Ross Star in. Evening, my lovelies.
Evening, my lad.
Yeah. So Ross is about. Your mother's supposed to be about, but I can't see her anywhere yet. But we'll see her sometime, no doubt.
She always gets about.
So for those that are watching that are far too young to understand the group of people that we're involved with tonight, do you want to explain anything about Doctor? Are you got anything to say?
Well, no, I'll let you explain it, because I am one of those people that are too young. Like I said, he was a Doctor Emeritus was #1 in Canada the day I was born. So...
He's really not going to like that. You know that, don't you?
Well, I'm not totally funny, but don't let this headline deceive you. I'm still only 33.
All right, okay. So before we bring Clive on in a few minutes, what's the bad joke?
Well, again, today is not a joke. Today, because I haven't really been in a jokey mood this week. So I had some questions go through my head this week, because it's one of those things that when you've got headphones on at work and you've got a lot of time to yourself, you start to think about the really important things in life. So I've actually got two questions. The first one is, like olive oils made from olives?
Yeah.
Yeah, and what is it? Sunflower oil made from sunflower seeds and whatnot. What's baby oil made from? Because it's the same thing as going, oh, look, I'll have an orange. But you don't turn around to a banana and go, oh, I'll have a yellow, do you? Oh, I'll have a nice light green. No. I don't understand why things are named stupid. And my other question, which has got to be fair, it's gone through my mind quite a few times, is how come, and how do I word this one? Yeah, so you've got fingertips. Yeah?
Yeah.
But why haven't you got toe tips? So like you tiptoe, but why haven't you got fingertips? It doesn't make sense. Okay. But anyway, that's the least important question. The most important question I've got, to be honest, I think is, what colour does a Smurf go when you choke it?
I don't know. What colour?
I don't know. It's not a joke. I'm genuinely interested. Okay. What colour does a Smurf go when you choke it?
Okay, so for those that actually want to know what's going on at the moment on the programme, obviously my son's completely lost the plot. Lockdown has done him no good.
It's a perfectly valid question.
Right.
Because obviously when you watch like TV programmes and first aid videos where some kid's choking, they got that blue colour, don't they? Well, what happens to a Smurf? How would you know it's choking?
Okay. So I'll be referring you to Mind in the morning, mate. All right. Obviously, it's one of the charities that we do try and work for, because the programme is all about men's mental health in general, but mainly men's. And obviously, we really do need to turn around and look at some professional help for you. I
don't need help. I've got all the help I need.
You've got Guinness. I've got wine. Cheers, everybody. Welcome to the show. So we're going to turn around now. We're just going to have a little bit of an intro. Now, hopefully, if I've got this right, on my screen on my right, I'm going to be able to turn around and play you a little bit of an intro. And we're going to do this now because Clive doesn't want to see himself.
I'll be honest, I'm not feeling confident about this, but I'll wait. I'll wait with bated breath. Oh,
on the basis
you're watching Asda?
I'm doing this right. I'm screen sharing that, but are you getting it? No, it's not being shared.
Well, that's because it's 20 seconds back.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it.
It's working.
It is. This is quite cool, actually. We should do this before. We should watch a film like this.
There you go.
Do we clap?
Hey, it worked. I actually got tech right for once. It'll be
I don't know if I should clap the video or clap you for it working.
No, me. I've got it right. First time. Week 4, and I've got it right. Okay, on that note, let's turn round and welcome the man himself. Welcome. Hey. Hi, Clive.
Hello, is this working?
It is
There
working.
it is.
And not only that, mate, I saved you. Turn that off first. I nearly got tech right. I nearly cocked it up.
So close.
I saved you having to watch the video. I played you in with it.
Oh, that's wonderful. I don't really mind. It's just I thought technically it's more important that you get this smooth and seamless introduction so that everyone looking around the world thinks you know what you're doing.
To be honest, actually, they all know that I don't, because they've seen me cock it up every week so far. This is the first one so far I've actually made something happen right.
Join the club. What's actually happened over this lockdown period is that people of a certain age, shall we say, i.e. myself, we've always known about this technology and we've always flirted with it. We've had to have a crash course and had to get used to it. And the truth is, we still don't have a clue what we're doing. But it's working and it's letting us do stuff like this, which is brilliant.
Which is amazing. Yeah, it is, mate. And I am getting better week by week. Got a couple of little ones. Julie says hi, by the way, Clive. Julie Wallington. And,
hello there.
And Lisa.
Hello there.
So they're out there watching, and a load of our mates are on there now. So Clive, you know, obviously we talk about men's mental health in the show. It's really what it's all about. Really appreciate you coming on as well.
Yeah.
One of the things that we try and get over to people is the whole concept of, you know, it's good to talk. And
yeah, absolutely. And I think if we bat ideas around, It helps. My main, if you like, my main input, my main thing that I can say to people, if struggling in any way, is, in the words of Alice Cooper, it's the little things. If anyone knows that song, if you don't, look it up after the show. Fantastic, you'll love it. Absolutely, it's the little things. And what I mean by that is, on the big scale, you see all these people, the heroes, Captain Tom, people doing so many amazing things, and you yourself think, well, what can I do? And that can be very daunting. It can make you feel helpless and useless, but it's absolutely the opposite of that. I hate making references to the last war, but do you know what? I'm going to make a reference to the last war. Not everybody in the last war wore a uniform and went out to fight. There were people keeping the trains going. There were merchant seamen who, thousands of them, lost their lives. And then there were the people at home. And if all you did was draw your curtains during a blitz, as you were meant to, you did your bit. Yep. So on the big scale, if we all stay at home, and two things: if we all stay at home, we are doing our bit. We're all tiny little heroes. And on the big scale of things, if nobody did anything to help, nothing would happen. If we all do a tiny little bit, we can move mountains. So if you're feeling helpless and useless and think, I can't do anything, just by staying at home, you are helping. But the other thing that we need to do, and this is probably more relevant, is we need to make sure that we ourselves are not a problem for other people. So it's about making sure that we're physically and mentally not in anyone else's worry, because as soon as you do that, you become a problem for someone else. Now, physically, that's quite easy, and I'll be honest, do things now because I don't want to twist my ankle. I don't want to go. I don't want to fall. I don't want to have a car. I don't want to crash. As lockdown started, I was at my mum's in London and I had to get back, and I saw two boy racers on the motorway, and they were literally having a right old laugh. And I just thought, do you know what? That is everything you do not need to do right now, because if you end up in hospital, you're just another burden on people who are already overburdened. So physically, I normally trim a hedge out the front here, and it's one of those balance on a ladder, get the hedge trimmers. And you know what? I actually had two thoughts. I thought, no, do you know what? I'm not going to do that because I thought, do you know what? Lockdown, maybe I don't need to do that ever again. Maybe what I should do is do the job properly and safely, right? So I'm leaving it and I'm getting the proper ladders and I'm going to do it properly. The hardest bit sometimes, okay, physically we look after ourselves, is to look after ourselves, which brings me nicely round to the show after that big long diatribe, is looking after ourselves mentally to make sure that we're not a problem. And that goes back down to the little things. Yeah. So for me, I treat each week as a working week, because all right, everyone knows Spirit in the Sky, Doctor and the Medics, but I'm the guy who, books the gigs, or in more recent weeks, cancels all the gigs, books the hotels, cancels all the hotels, if you see where I'm going with this. So I do all that. So, and it's, it's my job when I'm not out gigging with the band. So from Monday to Friday, and obviously as soon as lockdown was announced and all our gigs went, there's also sorting my life out. We're a band that has to gig. We have to work to live. I'm not Gary Barlow. I can't sit here for 6 months living on money. We have to go out and work. So we had to do all that and everything else. So what I decided was Monday to Friday, or as it happens now, did tell me to bring a glass of wine. And then I take the weekends off and I treat it as each day, each week. So I'm doing the little things. And when you don't know when you first look at it, and a lot of people here may have had to go for help to people, may have had to claim things they've never done before. And you get all this list of mortgage, electricity, help, HMRC, phone companies, where do you start? It's hopeless, and it can overwhelm you. Just remember, the doctor's pill for lockdown is the little things. It's just like that. So you do one thing every day. You just do a little thing. You get up, you brush your teeth, you brushing your teeth. You're not going to go to the dentist. Wash, get dressed. You're not going to get ill. get dressed, move about. You're not going to get mentally ill. Just concentrate on all the little things. And my last bit of advice is time management. I don't know about anyone else here, but I have found that I'm achieving about a third of what I would usually do every day.
Yeah.
Because of everything else that's going on, everything seems to take slower and longer. So take that pressure off your shoulders. Don't think you've got to do this, and this. You haven't. You've just got to do what you can do in the day. Then don't get wound up at 9, 10 o'clock at night on the computer, eyeballs bleeding, trying to catch up. You're not going to do it. You're not the only people. All of us are suffering. Everyone I've spoken to is suffering from this time management thing. Time seems to have sped up almost, and we're able to do far less. Just do the little things one at a time, and eventually all those little things will build up. Just as all the little heroes staying in, they all build up, and in the end, we will get to where we need to be. So there we are. That's my little. I don't know why I came out with all that in a state of consciousness streaming. I've never done that before in my life. I hope it made sense.
It made total sense, Clive. Total sense.
Cheers, everybody.
Yes. On that note, absolutely.
Cheers, everybody. Back to the doctor. Hello, everybody. Right.
So we were talking earlier. Right, we've done the men's mental health bit, and that was perfect. We're talking earlier on. Clive, Sam turned around and said to me earlier, Clive, that apparently, and you'll probably want to just turn your camera off now and disappear and say what? Apparently, you were number one on it the day he was born.
Well, somebody had to be.
But not in this country. In Canada, because in this country it was Nick Berry. I don't know why it was Nick Berry. It was an awful song.
Yeah, don't ease me into that gently, all right? Do not ease me. Don't give me any warning. Don't give me any brief or anything that you're going to drop a cat. I thought being number one in 1986 was quite a big event. Now I live that all these years I've gone along not knowing that it was number one the day Sam was born. Well, just drop that bomb on me, why don't you? Here we go. Sam, I can't say how proud I am. I feel as though I was part of your birth. I feel that I was there with you in the birth canal. I feel we were holding hands and coming into the world together. This is a beautiful thing. Everybody, if you want to get that image out of your head.
Yeah. I've got her.
You know what? Suddenly I'm not worried about what colour a Smurf would go anymore.
I have to turn around. I've got to ask you a favour, actually, Clive, because my sister-in-law, I know she's around here somewhere. She's watching now, and I know I saw her. Tracy Brown joined. My brother and her were extremely miffed with me last week because I didn't mention that my brother and his wife were saying hello to me on their, I get the little messages come up at the side of the screen here. So can I ask you an awfully big favour and just say hello to my gay brother? Okay.
Normally I charge 10 pence a word.
Yep.
That would be, so that's 50p. Is that all right?
Yeah, I'll pop a check in the post, mate.
Hello to Simon's gay brother from the doctor. Hello, mate. I hope you're okay. I hope everybody's keeping all right. I crammed in the extra words because I'm charging him by the word. So there we are.
Why am I getting paid by the word?
You're not worth it, mate. You're not as funny as Clive.
I would take
always do it. And you're also that'll be like
as a serious insult.
It'd be like me giving you pocket money, Sam. It doesn't happen anymore.
I haven't seen pocket money for God knows how long.
You're a grown man, mate. Earn your own money.
I'm a man, not grown. I am short.
All right, okay, Clive. So let's go back to, talking lockdown and what have you. But I know when I spoke to you about coming on the show, the one thing you said to me was that 2020 was actually destined to be probably the busiest year you've ever had.
Well, certainly the busiest year in 35 years. Yeah, we were all set. We were all about to go. I was booking flights. It's been that long since the medics have had to book flights regularly. We were busy. We were looking. We're all hooked up, wired up for. A brief history of the band for people who don't know was obvious. We started in '82. and we built our way up and up through what used to be the old gig circuit. Sadly, most of it is not there now. And we got our little indie deal, and we got our little indie #1 with Happy But Twisted EP in 1985. At the time, we thought that was brilliant. That was the kind of band we were going to be. Be a sort of like alternative band. And then, of course, a year later, Spirit in the Sky happened, which was rather a wonderful thing. We partied around the world for about 5 years and had a wonderful time, and don't regret anything we did. The only thing I think we could have done differently was have sat down at some point and said, do you know what, maybe we need to do a follow-up, or maybe we need to think about our career. No, look, we're in Japan, sake, hey! And that was, we were just this bunch of, we were the original idiots abroad for many, many years. And as the 90s progressed, we went along with it. In 1996, we put an album out, which was critically well received. I'll tell you about that later. It was critically well received later. It wasn't at the time. Remind me to tell you about the review of that later. We'll go into that later. But then by the end of the 90s, we were dead in the water. Absolutely couldn't buy a gig. Finished. And then I got an offer from a guy to tour the old Brannigan's pub circuit. Now, the old Brannigan's pubs, as I'm sure anyone who went in one, were kind of, there's Weatherspoons. I don't even think, look, on the screen, I don't even think Brannigan, in fact, now, since COVID, Weatherspoons, in fact, they're both down there now, aren't they? They're both forgotten about, which is a shame, because I used to feed the band in Weatherspoons, and I used to save a lot of money, but I won't do so again. So it's going to, Weatherspoons, thank you, probably cost me a fortune. Right. But anyway, look after your workers next time. Anyway, where was I talking about? Oh, yeah, there we are. So we did the tour of Brannigan's, but the band didn't want to do it. And in fact, Steve Maguire, the original guitarist, bless him, lovely man, but he did say to me, I don't want to do it, but if you can take the rotting carcass of this band and make money from it, do so with all my blessings. So I kind of did. And then we had what can only be described, it's still happening today, as a 20-year comeback. Our comeback has been 10 times longer than most bands' careers. So we kind of built our way up slowly. Last year was really good. The year before that was good. This year was going to be the year where, like, all those years of effort, building up a reputation as a live band, the whole malarkey, got the album coming out and everything else. This was going to be the year. And then literally overnight, that went from, and that took, you know, I'm not going to lie, that took me a good little while, you know, to sort out, both financially, lifestyle wise, and mentally, to reprogram yourself. But I just had a word. I went off, I had a word with myself, and I thought, what are you moaning about? You do the job you love. You're going to be doing the job you love again. And you know what? During lockdown, you can do a different version of the job you love. So just get on with it. And it took me a little bit of time, but you know, there we are. So we're now in the situation we are. And you know, I like to think that what wasn't 2020, maybe 2021 or 2022.
Sure. Oh, and we all hope that, mate. Absolutely. When we had the first show we did, we had Scott Dunican on from the Bar Stewards. I mean, Scott, apart from being hilarious, just like yourself, one of the things he touched on was the fact that because you spend so much of the time with the band members on the road when you're touring and when you're doing all the gigs, to suddenly go from, you know, that whole concept, that whole way of life, that whole constantly going from one to the next to the next to the next with the same people, to suddenly find yourself completely cut off, completely devoid from them. I mean, that must be hard enough in itself.
No, seeing the back of them for a year or so is brilliant. You know,
because this is the point that I tell you that AID's actually watching this. So.
No, we do have every couple of weeks we all get together online, because more than any lineup, and I include everybody, the medics is 6, 8 regular band members, of which 6 normally appear on stage, sometimes 7, occasionally 8. But we have people who come in and go out as time goes on. We have the Angelos in Swansea. 3 of our band members are from there, including, and then there's Maria, So you've got Big Papa Bear, who's Chris Angelo, guitar. Dan Angelo, our kind of regular guitarist. He's obviously Chris's son. Chris's other son, Matthew Angelo, who plays bass for us occasionally when John can't do it, and also plays guitar. And then you've got Maria, who sings for us when Melissa can't sing, and occasionally we have, and more often we have the two of them together, which sounds absolutely brilliant. So there's this whole family of us, and I think I've always had good band comradeship, but we increasingly use the word family in the lineup at the moment. We do feel like a family, and we miss each other. We feel like we've been cut off from the neck downwards during this, not seeing each other. But we do have the Zoom thing, and every couple of nights we all get a few cans and just talk. In fact, AIDS did suggest one time that we could all just get in our cars, drive for 4 hours, come back with your bags, unload them into the house, and pretending you're in the pub before the gig, and then pour ourselves a beer, and it might make it all seem a little bit more real. That's how bad our withdrawals are getting. We actually feel the need to do that. But it is, I know I'm not allowed to swear, but John Randall put it perfectly after about the second week of not gigging. He put, "This is," and that was it. He was right. Yeah, it's the pits for us work-wise, but you know what? Be grateful for what you have, not bitter about what you lose. We have a lot. We have this now. You know, we've never done this before. There's people tuning in who've never done this before. We have, so we have to be grateful for what we have. Yeah, we've lost that, but you know what? We haven't really. We're just taking a break, and who knows? It may do us better. You know, we may come out of this re-energized and thinking, "Oh, do you know what? Do you know that bit we used to do? Yeah. Well, that bit there. Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah. It's shit, isn't it? Yeah. Well, should we get rid of it? Yeah. You know, well, you know, that sort of thing. It is actually happening already. Sorry about the swear word, folks. But and also it's giving us a chance to finish this album, which we've been joking about for years and years, but we're actually being able to do it now. So every cloud has a silver lining. Always look for the positive within the negative. And again, I think that'll help us all get through.
Yeah, cool, absolutely. Anyone out there that wants to send any messages or make any comments, please feel free to do so on the Facebook, on the notifications there. Sam, you got anything you want to ask Clive on it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've been through the.
Oh, Sam. Smurfs don't choke. They've got a different epiglottis structure. That means that they cannot choke. I don't know if you know that, but they're a very strange. They're the only creature with 3 livers and 7 kidneys, by the way, and their whole metabolism is set up totally different. They appeal to us because of their babyish faces and their shape and everything else, and the fact they've got the little nappies going on and all that. But actually, in their physical metabolism and biology is fascinating. It is actually impossible to strangle a Smurf because they breathe through their arseholes. So what's your question?
Well, I don't know.
Now, I tell you, Clive, this is the first time I've ever seen him stuck for words.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that's been.
Well, it was you who said bring a glass of wine. I'm sorry.
That's been quite difficult for me now because I've normally got stuff lined up and I haven't.
Do you want to take a minute? Do you want to take a minute, Sam? Have a minute. Go on.
Sam, have a minute. I've got a question from Lisa, Clive. What new hobbies have you started, if any?
Well, I'm very lucky, actually. I've never needed a hobby because my hobby and everything I do somehow revolves around the band. So all I've done is started doing other things to do with the band. So my hobby at the moment, actually, this is quite, thank you, Lisa, gives me a chance to blow smoke up my own Smurf breathing orifice. Anyone who's just tuned in before the last bit will wonder what that means, won't they? Yeah. Smurf breathing orifice? What's he going on about? Right. Obviously, at some point, we've got to get back to work. And the entertainment industry is going to be one of the last. And certainly gigs, proper gigs. If it doesn't happen till 2021, I wouldn't fall off my chair with surprise. I'm hoping it's before that. We're having gigs rescheduled for September and October now. Maybe they'll happen. I hope they do. But at some point, they are going to open smaller venues. Maybe clubs with seating, like the comedy clubs and things like that, will be open before the big venues. It just makes sense. So I thought, I've always wanted to do a one-man show. I've always, I've written it, put it together within 2 weeks, and it'll just be myself and Dan on guitar. So it's not a one-man show at all, is it? I lie like a Smurf. It's a two-man show, but it's mainly me talking about the whole story of the band, and we're doing songs, but we're going to mainly do the singles. We're going to tell the story of the band through the singles, which a lot of people, obviously everyone knows Spirit in the Sky and a couple of others maybe, but if not, it's the story of those, and it's mainly a talking show. And it's intended to be funny, because a lot of the joy of doing what I do is the laughs. We talked about what you miss on the road. The biggest thing I miss with my band is the laughs we have, and they're not contrived, they're spontaneous, and I just miss that humor and everything else. So it's going to reflect that in the show. It's going to be a fun-filled, funny show. So anyway, putting this together, we've got all the bits together we need for it. I've put it out to some people, and it looks like people want to book it. So hopefully, and this isn't instead of the band, this is just so before the band go back to work. I need a job, right? So I'm putting this together, and it's been absolutely lovely doing it, because of course I've had to reflect on the past and stuff I've buried deep. And you'll be in the middle of I have to take a pen and paper with me to the shower now. I live just outside, and then I go, oh my God, yes, there was that. Yeah. And then you scribble it down and you think, oh, great, I'll scribble that down. And then in your old man way, you come out and you look at it, and there's just this running ink with water from your hair, and you haven't got a clue what it said. But I'm trying. So that's my new hobby, Lisa. Thank you for asking, is writing the show and finishing the album. So my hobbies are the band. Sadly, what a sad individual I am.
She's actually admitted that she said, I knew it would be a good question while he was drunk. So
right, I will immediately, I'm going to slap you right down straight away, right? This is my first glass of wine, right? Look at that. There we go. That's how much I've drank of my first glass of wine. You've obviously never seen me. Well, you have seen me drunk. This isn't drunk. This is just really happy chatting to you people. Oh, and I've got another reason to be happy. Since lockdown, I was saying to Sam and Simon earlier, I also said this earlier, children's television, you miss this pair, Sam and Simon, what a great name. No, actually, I'm streaming ahead now. Let's stop and talk about what we were talking about. I was telling Sam and Simon, I've forgotten completely what I was talking about.
Dude, I know where this is going. We're talking. You were talking to us earlier about your vices, about being on the.
Oh yes, you're right. Well done, thank you. See, people think that was just a fluke. It wasn't. It's this subliminal connection we have from sharing his mother's birth canal for those precious times. Now, what I started doing is I've never eaten more.
Oh, you're freezing.
And my body was recoiling in horror. It was saying, you cannot live this healthy. You cannot do this. And it was, and then 2 weeks ago, I was in the supermarket doing my regular shop, and I heard this, me. And I looked, and there was a packet of pork scratchings, and it was, me. And I bought it. And since then, there's been no going back. So look, here we have, sorry, vegetarians, but here we have a packet of pork scratchings, which have been my vice through lockdown. I can only imagine this is what it's like being a woman who's pregnant and wanting to eat coal, because I've never had a lust It's the only word I can describe it. A lust for pork scratchings like I have now.
I've got to say quick hi to Hugh Weston, who's joined us from Filter. Hugh was our second guest that we had on, brilliant guy. So hi Hugh. Lisa wants to know what you've done to the banner behind you. Julie says it looks like my pug has eaten it.
This is the band. This is my banner. This is the old band banner. I've given it a quick wipe off. There we go. Look. Actually, let me get out of the way here. There you go. Look, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, there we are. There we are. That's the old banner. Yeah.
It'll be
Retirement, because these days a lot of gigs you go to, you have AV screens, so you give them your logo and that's up on the screen there. So yeah, so there we are. That's the old band banner behind me. I thought it'd be more interesting than looking at my unwashed socks.
Well, I got to say the reason I've got the man cave bit behind me is obviously because we're on the man cave and that's where I'm supposed to be. But if you could see the rest of the stuff behind me, there's a load of clothes piled up on a piece of machinery, and it doesn't really look that conducive with being in a studio. So
there we are. Actually, talking about the one-man show, I was thinking down in Watch It there. If we did a show for you one time in the little hall where we met, wasn't it?
It was where we met. Yeah.
You know what? If circumstances allow, we'd love to just come down. Just for the good people of what, just for you all, and maybe have a night and maybe do it down there, just down a night if we're allowed, and we have to sit 2 meters apart at tables. There we are. Wouldn't that be lovely? Because there is a story we have between us, isn't there?
There is, yeah, there is. Because actually, the first time, and we talk about mental health and everything else, the first time I actually ever met Clive, it was the day after I flew back from burying my mother in Cyprus, and sort of just stood there, and Clive played Spirit in the Sky, and I just went to pieces, as you do, but unashamedly went to pieces, and then bless him, but we had a cracking chat afterwards, and but yeah, so it's funny under what circumstances you meet and where it takes you, but yeah.
Well, that song, you know, I've said before, as a sort of a 24-year-old fairly wild young man, I had my moments, I have to say. You know, it's 3 minutes 20 seconds, you know, isn't it? And it's a song, and then it does what it does. But it's only over, you know, as the years go by, people seem to embrace it more and more and more for what it means and what it means to them. And for me, I always just say it's about the good that comes after the bad.
Yeah.
And it's a positive spin on a bad situation. I mean, it's the only song I know that people, you know, you play to a festival crowd and there'll be thousands of people jumping up and down, all dressed merrily, singing, and the first line is "When I Die," right? But it works, and I think it's because it gives people that. Yes, there is that, but it's about the good that comes after the bad. And with yourself, there's quite a few people over the years who've come up after me and said, "I hope you don't mind me saying." I never mind anyone saying anything. I'm privileged to do what I do, and to have done such a song as that meant so much to people as the years have gone on. It means more and more to me. So the fact that we met then and now we're doing this is, you know, this is lovely. Actually, it means a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny how through adversity, things just sort of always seem to come together, and you know, again, because we had this chat, obviously, you know, over the phone off when we first talked about doing this. But what I found was coming off the phone from you, the sort of just felt so really, really chilled out and really good. And what a lovely memory of my mum then.
Yeah.
Not of what we'd had to go over there and do. My brother knows this. They're listening tonight, and he'll know this one as well. But you know, it was a difficult time for us over there. But the memory now is of actually coming and seeing you, and how that just lifted me up. Brilliant. But that's the song. I think that is the song, isn't it?
Yeah, and to me, that means so much because it lifts it above being a song, and that's kind of what's happened. goes with that as well. I think at the moment the band is in a very special place, a very special bubble that we love, and we love to meet people and see people. And so I think anyone could come up to any member of the band afterwards and tell us their story about that song or anything to do with us, and we share it. Because what I say to the band, they're all most of them are a lot younger than me. I say, you've just got to grab this by the horns every day when it happens. I said, one day, you know, I see bands, wonderful atmosphere. They'll have the bus running at backstage, and they come off and they jump in the bus and they're gone. And I think, well, what are you doing? I mean, probably they would say to me, we're being professional, which is a word that really hasn't come into my agenda that much over the years. But I just think one day you're not going to be able to do this. And you're going to think, oh, well, what was it like touring? Oh, it was great. We used to get in the bus. We used to go to the travel lodge. Then we'd watch some telly, you know, You think, why are you doing this if that's all you're going to do? I'll go back to a long, long time ago. We played with Simple Minds at Milton Keynes Bowl. When I say we played, I mean a little bit. There were Simple Minds. We were down, I think there were about 18 bands between us and them. But we were the first band on site, and we were the last band to leave. And the thing that amazed us was, when we turned up, we had the Medic Mobile, which was a little Ford Transit van, split off. We had our pet rat in there, Colin the Rat. We had it all done up psychedelically in the back. We had all the gear split, and the Medic Mobile was our mode of transport for many, many years. And we turned up, and a guy came up to us door and we said, Doctor and the Medics. I said, band or crew? And I just said, oh, band. He said, oh, yeah, go and park over there. And then they come out with the band and said, no, this is where the crew goes. I said, oh, sorry, they're in the band as well. They said, well, where's your gear? I said, well, in that. And they started laughing. And as I walked away and looked behind, every other band had a massive tour bus, right? We spent thousands on. And there's a photo somewhere of old bus there and all these big audio dynamite, the Waterboys. I was like, oh, brilliant. And we went around the campsite and I was going to say hello to all the bands. All the little chalets were empty. There was only us. And one of the funniest things I can remember is Simple Minds had a little picket fence, gnomes with a little pool and a fishing rod, okay, and garden furniture. The next band down didn't have the picket fence, but they had some gnomes and a bit of garden, and it worked its way round. When it got to us, we had 2 PVC chairs. So one of our roadies went and nicked one of Simple Minds' gnomes and just stuck it outside, I think. Anyway, about 20 minutes later, there's a knock on the door, and a roadie from Simple Minds came in, and he said, you stolen our gnome? I said, he walked over here on his own. He was bored over there. We're at the party here. I said, your band aren't there. And he actually said to me, absolutely seriously, he said, Simple Minds have worked hard to get where they are. You lot come in here, you 5-minute wonders, and you think you can nick their gnomes. He said, don't take the piss. And walked off with the gnome. And I can't remember the last time I laughed so loudly. They've worked, okay, yeah, they've worked, nothing wrong with that, Simple Minds, but they've earned this gnome. We later found out he wasn't joking, you know. So, but the thing for us, I remember that day, is none of the bands were there. We were there first, then they all came. I think there were 30, 40,000 people. A lovely sunny day. They all came off their bus from the travel lodge or the hotel or whatever it was, did the gig, back in the bus, back to the hotel. And I thought, you're really missing a big part of this. This is just beautiful. And yeah, and we still do that. Every festival we go to, I just embrace it like it's the last one, because, you know, I've got miles on the clock, and that's going to happen one day, isn't it? They're going to say, you can't, yeah, my body or something's going to give up, or people are going to say, bloody hell, it's him again.
I think that's one of the things that people love about watching music festivals so much. It's because it's such a laid back, relaxed place in itself. And all the backstage crew that the bands then meet, and Mark and Jackie themselves particularly, it's such a laid back, easygoing attitude and everything else. And you tend to find that very, very few of the bands that play Watch It ever feel like they want to disappear quick. They all say that they want to stay, they just want to carry on enjoying it. John, Reverend of the Makers, last year at the end of the Sunday night, just sat there just having such a laugh at the end of it, and really just not wanting to go. Sophie Ellis Bextor, just again, I mean, she was like straight out to the crowds at the side of the stage and everything else, and yeah, come on, photographs, hugs, all the rest of it. No princess or anything like that. Just an ordinary person that then just goes, wow, these people are just amazing. And I know you love it there as well.
Well, since the days of the Milton Keynes Bowl, Simple Minds thing, I think I think as the bands have got older as well, I think more bands are now doing it. I notice more and more bands getting there earlier, staying later. However, I still think we are one of the bands that get there earliest and have to be kicked off. And by the way, when you mention Mark and Jackie, massive hello, if you're watching Mark and Jackie, massive respect to them and anyone who organises a festival. Anyone who goes and appreciates a festival, if you've never been involved in organising one, you might think you know what's involved. You might think, oh, well, yeah, you book a band, you get a photo. Yeah. And I've known a lot of people try and organise festivals and get, it's been a disaster because they just do not understand that you have to be totally selfless and you have to give your life to this. And you're not doing this to make millions, you're not doing this to be a millionaire, to make money. You're doing this because you believe in putting the music out there to people. And one of my favorite things that I say at a festival is this isn't about just the music here and now. This is about where we go from here. This is about people leave here, they feel enriched, their lives are better, the community is better. Everybody, it's a wonderful thing that they do. So to Mark and Jackie and everyone who runs a festival, my hat tips to them because nobody has an idea of how much work or how much passion or how much love they put into what they do. So bless you both, and I hope to see you soon, and I hope you're okay.
And we all love them as well. But because of course the other thing, and you probably know this yourself from having done it a couple of times, is that Watch It Festival is run by volunteers. Everybody from the bottom to the top. There isn't a single person gets paid for any single aspect of it. And the town is such a community. The way it all pulls together and works together to make it happen. I think that's one of the most amazing things. And I think that's what's always picked up by the bands that go there.
Oh, absolutely. And sorry, yeah, I mean, what I was saying about Mark and Jackie wasn't exclusive to everyone because and I'll tell you the big thing is, and there's a few festivals where this happens, where you turn up and you are met by someone with a clipboard. I'm going to describe them in detail now. They've always got rigger boots on, shorts, a hat, high-vis jacket, and an attitude.
We know that is.
Yeah. No. Not at your festival. No, not at your festival. You turn up at some of these festivals and it's like, oh, hi, don't you park you over there? I said, oh, right. And then what? No, you got to leave your car there. We got gear. Oh, have you? And you oh, God. And so you arrive after driving for hours and you get that. You arrive at Watch It Festival and the others that I'm thinking of, and you get greeted with a smile. You get treated like a human being. You get, oh, hello, and nothing's too much. That makes, it's such a, and I think it makes the artists feel better, perform better. It makes the whole flow. We're all one. I compare a few shows, and when I'm comparing, I play a very different role to when I play the Doctor. You're in a my performance is one of dictatorial elegance. But when I'm comparing, my job is like, you got the crowd and you got the band. It doesn't matter about me. I'm the court jester. But it's very important at that point to make the crowd feel as one with everything that's going on there, because you are all in it together. And at Watch It, that just happens naturally. Everyone in the crowd, You don't, you know, I could go straight off stage in stage gear and walk out, and people just come up and say hello, and like, you know, it's like, oh, and it's a lovely, lovely atmosphere. So yeah, and I hope, yeah, I hope to feel it again.
Oh, I'm sure you will do. I'm absolutely sure you will do. I know you'd be more than welcome everywhere, and it would be bloody good if you could turn around and bring your little 1-man, 2-man bit down to watch it, and we could do that down at the village hall again. That would be brilliant.
Do you know what that would be? That would be 2 fingers up to COVID-19, wouldn't it? If we were able to do that and all have a laugh. By the way, you know, I said earlier that the kids' telly missed all the devastation that COVID-19 has done. Is it has stolen a great name for a death metal band, doesn't it? COVID-19. That's a great name for a metal band, isn't it? And they can't use it now. You know, it just would not be right. So 2 fingers up. I mean, coronavirus, crap name. Why couldn't we have kept it like that? And then COVID-19 would have still been there for a metal band of the future to claim, but they've gone now.
Right, Clive. I don't really know where we're going to go with this conversation. Mate, it's been absolutely brilliant having you on. Thank you so much. I know this is going to get watched thousands of times now, because it's going to, you know, the word will go around. Probably, yeah, it is, without a shadow of a doubt. I think, you know, the best guest we've had so far in respect of just the fun element and the banter and everything else. Scott was good. He doesn't mind me saying it, you know, but come on, Scott, you got to get your game up, mate.
Yeah, sorry, Scott. Yeah. And I promise to never live on earth mention your mother's birth canal again, and I won't do it again, because it obviously threw you out of your stride.
So we're going to turn around and we're going to play you out with the other video that you sent me, as long as this works all right. Oh my God.
Before we do it,
yeah,
can I quickly give a quick bit of history about the other one?
Yeah.
It was on a film. It's not the normal Spirit of the Sky video everyone's used to seeing. I was in a film. I played, you know, we all think, all men, we're all quite vain, really. We are, let's be honest. We all think we have film star look. The fact I was playing a 478-year-old dead baron, I was thinking more I had the James Bond look, not a decaying corpse, but there we are. So when we were on the set, the band came down and we filmed the video on the set, which is the video you saw there. And I think if you're going to play Spin Me Now, this also is irrelevant, because you won't see it. You may notice around anyone who went there, but this was the last ever thing that was done at the legendary 12 Bar Club in London. It was knocked down shortly after. No band played there again since. This was the video you're about to see was the last ever performance in the 12 Bar. Much missed live venue. So, ladies and gentlemen, my last message to everyone. Festivals are going to get back. Yes, hopefully they will. Confidence about maybe going out in public may be diminished. We've got a bit of a long journey here, but we need to get back to spreading the love, spreading the music. So get out, support live bands when we're able to, and let's slowly, it's not going to happen like some mad VE Day party, but let's slowly rebuild what this confidence and this love and this music thing. It will happen again. It's just going to take a while. Please be patient, keep strong. This has been an absolute joy. Stay safe. Love, Doc.
Catch up with you in a minute. Let's share the screen.
Watch out, here I come.